Hello everyone and welcome back to Mezzomedic and the CV Building for Medical Students series. My name is Kitty and I'm an academic junior doctor working in the UK. Today we'll be talking about leadership and teamworking opportunities for medical students. Leadership and teamworking skills are particularly valuable in medicine where your day-to-day work as a doctor will involve you working as a team. Getting involved in a leadership and managerial position is something that every medical student should be able to achieve. In this video, we'll first cover the scoring criteria in postgraduate training, then we'll go through the various opportunities to hold a leadership or teamworking role in a local, regional, and national setting. And finally, we'll just discuss the importance of non-medical committee roles. So, as always, we'll start by having a look at the scoring criteria for leadership and managerial positions. This particular scoring criteria is taken from the 2020 Core Surgical Training Checklist, but the weighting of the points is probably similar across other specialties as well. So looking at the scoring criteria, you can basically see that the scores are based on the geographical reach of the position from local, regional, and national. And for the role to count, you have to have held it for more than 6 months and demonstrated a positive impact. You can do this by producing concrete evidence such as meeting minutes, proof of events that you have held, letters from your supervising consultants, and potentially a bit of a reflection in demonstrating the key transferable skills that you've gained as a leader or manager. So firstly, let's talk about what local roles you can have. My belief is that there is really not an excuse to not have at least a local role on your medical CV. Medical schools generally have a lot of societies for you to get involved in general, and if your medical school is anything like mine, then most of these societies, bar the kind of very popular surgical society and cardiology, most of them are actually desperate for students to come and join the committee. And when you think about it, an extra pair of hands to help organize a massive conference or substantial teaching event is never a bad thing. Ideally, of course, you want to be part of a society that is a specialty that you're interested in, but at the end of the day, the transferable skills that you gain from a leadership and managerial position is very similar. And contrary to popular belief, whether you are part of a specialty society at medical school will have absolutely no bearing in whether you can get into the specialty itself. Outside of medical school, there are often also university-wide roles for you to get involved in, such as acting as a student rep or ambassador. And if you really cannot find anything that interests you or suits you, you can always start your own society. Especially if you find a niche that is not yet covered by other societies, this may turn out to be a better idea than joining an existing society because you can further demonstrate your dedication and ambition. In my third year of medical school, for example, a few friends and I started a cardiothoracic surgical society, which gained enough traction that we actually turned it into a national initiative. If you do start your own society, just make sure that you set up and meet some concrete goals that you can put down on paper to avoid the impression that you made a society just to say you had a societal role. Next up are regional roles. Now there are a variety of regional roles that are available for medical students. There are a lot of large national societies that rely on a regional trainee and student network to manage different regions of the UK and report back to a central managing committee. Some examples of these are BMA student reps for those who are interested in leadership and management, specialty-specific reps like the Association of Surgeons in Training and the British Orthopaedic Association, and you can also get a regional role as part of a research collaborative like StarSurge. Selection for regional roles, because they usually belong to such a large society, are usually a lot more formal and more competitive compared to local positions. But generally, they're quite accessible to anyone who demonstrates enough interest and commitment to specialty. And finally, national roles. National roles are generally really hard to come by and very competitive between students and trainees alike. Applications are usually fairly strict and may require you to send in your medical CV, and even a senior colleague to act as your reference. Usually, national committees will also require you to have had previous experience in a leadership or managerial role. Some potential options for national roles to consider are joining a committee of a nationally recognized society. Especially specialty societies will often have a student rep role that you can often apply for. Alternatively, there are roles like communications or secretary that doesn't necessarily require you to be a trainee in that area to apply. You can also consider sitting on national councils like the BMA and the Medical Schools Council to advise and feedback on your medical education experience. You can also consider joining onto a national research collaborative to act as a researcher and to advise on future direction of projects. And finally, there's nothing stopping you from creating your own national society, but just be prepared to provide concrete evidence to support the reach of your society, for example demonstrating attendance from students across the country, or official recognition as a course or conference by a national body. Again, you do not want to come across as having labelled yourself as a national group, but actually you only did local events. And finally, you can demonstrate your team working and leadership skills in a non-medical capacity. For example, being captain of a sports team or leading other outreach programs, as long as you can demonstrate similar transferable skills that you've used. However, just be aware that for some specialties, they may or may not award points for a non-medical role, so make sure you check this before you apply. And that wraps up the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have found this useful. If you're wondering about other ways to build your medical CV, I have a series of this on my channel which you can check out right here. And don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you liked the video and subscribe so that you get notified when future videos come out. That's it for now, and see you next time.